Hey partners, today we're going to look at the difference between my old Toy Story collection Jessie and my brand new Toy Story Signature collection Jessie and see if we can find any differences. Alright, let's get into it. You're watching Today I Grew Up. So basically what I have here is two Jessies. Yes, they're both from Thinkway Toys, except the one on the left here is a Toy Story collection one I got in 2010, and the one on the right you see here is a Toy Story Signature collection Jessie that I just bought from Target in the year 2019. So I wanted to go dig deep and look at the differences between these toy waves, because toy companies over time, they do little tweaks and changes without telling people, and unless you collect the old ones, you don't really see the differences. So in 2010, I got this Toy Story Collection Jessie with a white logo background before it changed to yellow signature. So let's look at the boxes. So looking at the boxes, sometimes with these waves, there is big differences, but sometimes there's really not that many differences. But when I was kind of inspecting the box, obviously the main differences here is Signature is going to have the only at Target sticker, so that's definitely different. Also, I just was noticing that the colors of the boxes are pretty much the same in the front. The rose pink color looks the same. It's missing the Toy Certificate of Authenticity picture, obviously, in the right-hand corner. That's added for the new version, which says include Certificate of Authenticity. The old one doesn't say that, it just says a thinking toy. And so I did notice those differences there. Other than that, though, nothing really to me seemed too different in the front. And actually, that was really surprising. I was thinking I'd find a lot of differences, but they basically say the same thing. And there's nothing really different besides the major logo changes. So the side of the box, it looks like the old one faded, or it's just a lighter color. I think maybe it's because it's an older box. You're comparing something that's 9 years old. So I think that's probably like a natural fade type thing, but I'm not too sure. But the design looks exactly the same. Now on the back here, the big differences that I saw was on the old Jessie box, the certificate of authenticity is really huge. And on the signature, that's a lot smaller and it fits inside within the rope box there. So that definitely is different. Both of them say the same things on the back. The one thing that I saw that was a little different was it says certificate of authenticity is missing from the signature description there in the little text. But other than that, wow, like they're exactly the same. And I was actually shocked to see that there wasn't any like major changes. So everything else is pretty much the same. And I was looking at the barcodes, even the barcodes matched up. So they didn't really make a lot of changes to the boxes, I noticed. So nothing too different. On the other side, same thing. The older box has like a fade effect. I don't know if it came that way, but anyway, this is what you really came for. Let's look at the actual differences between the old Jessie and the new collection Jessie. So looking at the side profiles and the back, at first glance, if you guys just saw these on the shelf, toy shelf, you probably would think to yourself, this is the same exact Jessie. There is no differences. But when you really start inspecting to these two really closely, you're going to start realizing there is actually a lot of differences between these two. So first taking a look at the hats, right away, the big differences is the 2010 Toy Story Collection Jessie hat is a little bit lighter in color, and the signature hat is more vibrant. I was kind of measuring the size. The hats are exactly the same size. The threading around the edge feels the same. The color white, it's all kind of the same. I feel like they use the same molds, and they're still using the same mold after all this time, because I didn't see any redesign changes with the hats. So my guess is they never changed the design of the hat, and they're still producing the same hat. It's just the old one is a lighter red, and the new one is more vibrant and red that pops out brighter. So I don't know if that's because it's older and it just, maybe the sun faded it a little bit. I don't keep my toys in the sun. They're on display inside dark rooms, so I don't know. That's definitely a big difference with the color. So right away, you can see the old Jessie here on the left and the new Jessie on the right. Look at the skin color on my Jessies. The Signature Collection has darker complexion, and the older one has a lighter complexion. Also look at the dark lines over the eyes. So on Toy Story Collection Jessie, the black lines are thinner, and on Signature Collection Jessie, the lines are thicker black over the eye. So that was a big noticeable difference. Also, if you look at the side profiles of the chin and the face, on Toy Story Collection Jessie here, it's a very straight line diagonal down. But here on Signature Collection Jessie, it's a little bit more rounded. The cheek jawline is a little bit more natural and rounded. So the old Collection Jessie is just a straight line and skinnier, actually, like a skinnier chin. But on Signature, I feel like it's a little bit more of a natural facial shape. So that's definitely a big redesign difference. I think they redesigned the head for sure because the jawlines angle differently. And if you notice the ear size, Signature has like smaller ears, and on Collection Jessie, her ears look bigger for some reason. Just like the ears just kind of pop out a little bit more, and the ears are a little bit more proportionate on Signature. So I don't know. So far, looking at these two Jessies, I kind of like the Signature Collection Jessie face just a little bit more. But then there's things about the Collection Jessie that I like. Also, I noticed that the hair is definitely different on Signature versus the Collection Old Jessie. On actually Signature Jessie, her hair seems more vibrant red. Look at the face here on Collection and look at the face here on Signature. You can see that the line is a flatter face on the old Jessie, and on the new Jessie, it has more of a natural curve on the face. And I feel like the Collection Jessie, the old one, has more of a smashed face, more of a straight line. So you can kind of see that. Collection Jessie has a straight face. Signature has more of a natural curve there on the side profile. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you look closely, you can definitely see the face just looks a little bit more straight and smashed on the old Jessie versus the new one. So the new Jessie has a more natural looking face. It looks a little bit more like Jessie in Alive mode versus Jessie in Toy mode, in my personal opinion. The hair is definitely different, like I said. The hair is longer and thicker on the Signature Collection Jessie. Now, on the old Jessie, it actually has thinner hair, and it's not as long. So I think that the old Toy Story Collection Jessie is more movie accurate with the hair, because I think the hair is not supposed to be as thick and poofy, and it's supposed to be shorter versus longer. So I think the Toy Story Signature Collection Jessie hair is a little bit less inaccurate for those reasons. I think it looks way better on 2010 Toy Story Collection Jessie here on the left. I think the hair is way better. It's more controlled, it's thinner, it's not as thick as Signature. You guys let me know in the comments below what you guys like better for the hair. So after reviewing that part, I was just a little confused. I was like, wow, there's more differences. So here on the chest area, we have a thicker red line on the pattern here on Signature, and it's a lot thinner in Collection. I think I like the thinner line versus a thicker line. Also, the waistlines, if you look at Signature, has a wider body, but on Collection Jessie, the old one, has a thinner waistline. So I think that's more movie accurate to have a skinnier Jessie. I was looking at the hands, and I noticed that the skin colors really pop out differently. So on Signature Collection Jessie, her skin color is a little dark and tan color. But on the old Toy Story 2010 Collection Jessie, the skin color, as you see here, is a lot fairer and like lighter skinned. So that's a big color difference between the skin color. So the Collection Jessie on the old one has lighter skin color, which I think is a little bit more movie accurate. And Signature Jessie just looks so much more tan, like she got a lot of sunlight compared to the old Jessie here. So I thought that was really interesting. The molds seem the same, but the proportions are a little different. Like I said, the shoulders here on Signature are a little poofy. The old Jessie, the Collection one, actually has thinner shoulders. Yeah, that thick line just really bugs me, guys. The thin line looks way better on Collection. Signature is too thick. Also, the waistline, like I said, bothers me on the new Signature one. It's a little too wide. The belts kind of are the same. Everything on the Signature Collection usually is a little darker in color, so the belt's a little darker. The jeans are definitely darker. Now I want you partners to pay close attention right here to the arm length. So on Signature Collection Jessie, her arms are too short. They kind of stop at a certain point. And on the old Jessie, the collection Jessie from 2010, look at her arms. They are longer, which is more ragdoll. So I think the Toy Story collection Jessie from 2010 has more movie accurate arms because they dangle lower, which is what we see Jessie have long arms in the movie. The chaps you can see are damaged and cracked. They got dried out on my collection Jessie. Naturally over time, I guess it just got dried out and started cracking and peeling. So that was a defect, and I didn't like that. So and also the chaps here are shorter on Signature, and they're a lot longer on the old collection Jessie. I kind of like the chaps better on the Signature, not only because they look brand new and they're not cracked, but I actually like the length and the rounded edge on the bottom looks really good to me. So the Signature collection chaps are better, not just because they're not cracked like my old one. So here's the back if you guys wanted to look at another back view comparison. It's just the little things and the stitching and the design. It's pretty much the same, but like I said, certain things are different colors and certain things are different lengths, and even the tags on Signature are way too long, but on Collection Jessie, the tags are a little shorter, which is better. I don't like those merch tags anyway. On the back here, you can just see that the chaps are tied a little higher on Signature and they're tied a little lower on the Collection Jessie. They appear to be exactly the same height, however, but I really love that Collection Jessie, the older Jessie, has longer arms. That is really cool. So like I said, I don't know how we can fix the chaps, but they look like they have dried and they're dying, so that sucks. So if you look at the boots here, Signature Collection, like I said, usually tends to be darker than the old collection toys, so you can see that here on the boots. Signature Collection has a darker boot, and the original Collection Jessie has a lighter brown color boot. On the information on the bottom is the same. The molds appear to be exactly the same, so I don't really see too many differences here. And the same thing with the other boot. They're exactly the same. It's just one boot, Signature is a little darker and Collection is a little lighter. Now when I put them heel to heel, you can see that the heel doesn't align perfectly. So it could be that it's a thicker heel here on the Signature Collection Jessie. So that could tell me two things. Either the mold's changed, it's been slightly redesigned from the original mold, or it's just over time naturally molds kind of vary a little bit maybe. I'm not too sure. I don't work at a toy plant, so that's just my guess anyway. So once again, let's look at the faces. Which face do you guys like better, 2010 Jessie or 2019 Jessie? Now look at the ear size. You can definitely see here on this angle that Collection Jessie has bigger ears and Signature Jessie has smaller ears. So that definitely you can see. And here on the side profile again with the jaw lines, you can tell Jessie was definitely upgraded for Signature to look more like she is in the movie when she's alive or moving around, versus just like a still doll. So it's really hard for me. If I had to choose one, I kind of like the 2010 Jessie head better, just because the hair I think is more movie accurate. The face sculpt's a little more doll-like, like a rag doll. So I'm gonna go with 2010 Jessie for head sculpt and hair. Overall, I think the body is a little better too because the arms are longer, the shoulders are thinner, the jeans are lighter in color, which I think is more accurate. The only thing I like better for Signature is I like the chaps are better length on the bottom, and obviously they're brand new. Looking at the back pockets also, the Collection Jessie wins for me because the 2010 Jessie has kind of like thicker pockets that poke out. But on the Signature Collection, the pockets seem flat and kind of not there. They almost just look stitched. So I don't really like the look of that. And looking at the stands, they're basically exactly the same molds. They're not doing anything too different here. But I did notice when I put the size comparison that the Signature horseshoe here on the bottom looked a little bit bigger or longer, but I think it's exactly the same size. And the big color difference, obviously, I think in Signature you can see here it's a darker yellow gold color, and on the Toy Story 2010 collection here on the left is a lighter gold color. So there is color differences here, but other than that, they look the same. Looking at the top view, it looks like they were kind of put together the same kind of screws. I didn't see any differences here at all there. Looking at the bottom, you can definitely see it is the same mold. I don't see any differences, just in the color. One signature is darker color gold and collection is a lighter color gold. Well, there you have it. A very detailed look at the differences between the old Jessie and the new Jessie. Which Jessie do you guys like better? Do you like my 2010 Jessie here on the left that I got back in 2010? Or do you guys like my brand new Jessie here on the right? That's from 2019, Signature Collection. Well, at the end of the day, keeping everything in mind, my favorite Jessie here is the 2010 Jessie white logo. And except for the chaps, I don't like 2010 chaps because I think the length is too long. And even if the chaps weren't cracked like you see here and dried out, I still wouldn't like them. I like the signature chaps better. I think they're cut more oval on the bottom, they're shorter, more appropriate length. I think it looks more movie accurate. So I think I'm gonna try to do is take the signature chaps and put them on my 2010 Jessie. That might work. Or maybe I should do a head swap with my 2010 Jessie with the brand new Disney Store Jessie that I got, because I think there's a lot of movie accurate qualities to that Disney Store Jessie that I did a review on. What do you guys think I should do? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you like what you see on this channel, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video review.